Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today for another CTC software webinar. Today we're going to talk about our tool Label Genie and how it's used with pipes. So this is going to be a high level, kind of just show you how to get things set up and let you get comfortable with Label Genie as it works for pipes. My name is Tony Crick. I'm the Civil Product Manager here at CTC Software. And as always, this webinar, along with many others, will be available on our YouTube channel, and this one in a few days. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching it. If you have any questions as we go live here, please enter them into the question panel, and we'll try to get to them during the broadcast. Otherwise, there will certainly be time at the end to answer any questions you might have. And if you're watching it on YouTube, you can just enter the questions there and it should come to us and we'll get back to you. So with that, let's get started. So what can Label Genie do for you? Well, it simplifies and expedites the labeling process to create your labels more efficiently, and then lets you manage those labels also, which will even save time and reduce errors. So today we're going to kind of guide you through some of the setup, the usage, and some best practices to help you get the most out of Label Genie. And keep in mind, it's for anything you can label in your drawing. It's part of the SIM project suite of tools, and it is intended for everyday Civil 3D users creating design and production drawings, and it will work in the last 4 versions of Civil 3D back to version 2021. So today we're going to highlight and show you some things that you need to label more efficiently in specifically your pipe networks, and how it can automate your labeling process and make sure your labels are accurate and everything is the same. So we're going to learn what you need to do to set things up and some of the best practices that go with those that will help you streamline your workflows. So Label Genie is on the project suite of toolbars. As I mentioned, it's right there in the general portion. And some of the advantages of it is it will automate your labels, meaning that you can do things all at once versus hunt and peck and push one at a time. And Civil 3D does some of those, but not to the best. And so it's versatile in that way. And then we can define different labels for specific scenarios, and we'll kind of show you that a little bit here today, which ultimately will save clicks and time. So how does it work? It uses all of your preset annotation and Civil 3D stylings, and then we can quickly update things when things change simply by rerunning it. And we can even label multiple drawings at once. So as I mentioned before, it's better than native annotations in that it has more versatility and quick and easy updates to rerun things, as I mentioned. And they're dynamically linked to your objects. So if in your pipe network, if you change a structure or a pipe in any way, they're Civil 3D labels, so they will update when you change those. So let's jump into the drawing here and show you some of the things we just mentioned. Okay, so here is just sort of a typical run, street, storm, some existing here, connecting to some existing sanitary and storm, both. And then a sanitary and storm is all that is in this one. to show you how to label things. So let's first show you where the things come from. So they're coming from here. So your label styles that are within for your pipes, label styles, anything that you have created and have in your tool space will be available for selection in Label Genie. And likewise with your structure labels. So we can label structures and pipes all at the same time. We can do those also, also in plan view, as you see right here. And then as far as Label Genie goes, whatever you have set up for text styles, dimension styles, we will also be able to access those. And Label Genie will do everything you see here and a little bit more. Today we're going to be talking about our pipe networks. And as we go in here, we can see, we can do entire network plan, we can do entire network profile, we can do single parts, and it has some good things to it, but it also has some limitations to it. But you see the same styles that pop up here that we just looked at in the tool space are there. So some of the things we can do there, we can also do with Label Genie, but we can assign different styles, label styles, all in one. So we don't have to set some of these and then go delete them out, or however you chose to do it that way. So let's go back and let's open up Label Genie here. Come on, Label Genie. There it is. So here's Label Genie. This is what it looks like. As of 25.0, I believe it was, we have included some templates. So here's our template storage location over here. So your path to your templates, and these will be available once you set your path, and your path gets set right here. So these are the default ones. I have this set to the default location. See public users right here. This is where they come with the product. When you buy a project suite, you will get these by default, and they're simply here in the See Users Public CTC Software Label Genie folder. It comes with all of these that you see here. They're recommended to be used as a jumping off point. Of course, they're not going to match your settings right off the bat, but once you get them, you can save them and you can copy those, put them in a central location for ease of use. Later on, share them with your team, whatever. And so we also have our help right here. That will open up this help manual. And I want to show you this because Label Genie has, like I said, many functionalities. And this matrix right here that's in the help guide will show you what label types, so our label types and what our anchor objects, what all we can do with them. So if you're wondering why something isn't working right, if you're trying to use it, maybe you want to go here and see if I've met all of these requirements. Once you get the hang of it, you use it a few times, I think you'll understand how it goes. So today we're going to be talking about, like we said, pipe networks here. So pipe networks work a little bit different than some of our other ones. If you need to use any of these other ones, they have different anchor types and required objects here. So pipe networks in the formatting is a little different in that we have to have our style mapping set over here to get at our stuff. So let me show you one other thing that we're going to access with Label Genie. So we're going to look at our parts list. So in our pipe network, we're going to get at the parts that are associated with these. So it should read automatically what is in your drawing that comes from your part lists over here. Otherwise, we can load the parts, which I'll show you here in just a second. So let's pop Label Genie back open and go through it. So if you wanted to use the jumping off, you could certainly come in here, and we have one set already, one for plan, one for profile. So you could certainly load that and go from there, or you can set it up from scratch too, totally up to you. So to do that, you just come in here, you select our label type. So label type, what does that mean? What do we want to label? We want to label pipe networks. If we want to label some blocks, if we wanted to label alignments by station offset, if we want to get some surface information, we could select that here too, very much like the annotation tab that comes with Civil 3D. So we select our pipe network labels right here. So then what's our anchor object? It's our pipe network. We can do this a couple of different ways to do this. So we need to open this filter component box that tells us what to do. So this is already set by pipe network. So you can do that by picking it by right here. And then this will show you if we have multiple here, if you want to delete them or add to them by picking here, you would do that. So if I've already done it, but I can do this again. I'll come in here, I'll grab. These need to be selected in the plan to get the network. So let me clear that first. So I cleared it to 0. So I'll come in here and I'll grab any piece. Doesn't matter what piece because I'm getting the whole network. So it recognizes it already. In this case, it's just called Storm. Whatever you name it will pop up there. And you get that count of 49. This will also give you a confirmation right here if you wanted to see. So there's 49 pieces of that pipe network, to be labeled. So then the only option here is the vertices for the anchor point, and that's the vertice of your pipe or your structure as you created them. We are looking in the future to make that a little more versatile as we go here. And then we need to select here, do we want these to go into our plan view or our profile view? So that's why you saw in the template here, if I would have loaded the plan one, I would have gotten that already preset, pre-populated, so I wouldn't have to do that. So in this case, I want to pick the profile, and then I need to pick the profile I want it to go in. So I could do this by picking the object. I could pick all, I could do it by layer if that's how I had it. For this demonstration today, I'll clear that. We only want to show you this, labeling this. So some of these have already been put in place. So we have sanitary labels, we have storm labels, and so on. So I need to pick my profile. That's the requirement. So we've got our profile, everything's picked. And if you do something wrong, it will let you know. And I could pick all these too at once if I wanted to. So for that, once we get everything set up here, we can hit our formatting tab. And this is what I talked about, our mapping. So by mapping, we mean to go map what parts here in the drawing, how we want those to be labeled. So if I was going to do the sanitary, I would have picked the sanitary. I didn't. I picked the storm. So we have this little pull down here. If you had different ones, they'd all be in here. And you pick from those. So once you do that, these parts should already come populated. And as I said, if they didn't, you could go ahead and hit the import parts list. That will access your parts list in your tool space over here and bring all those in. If for some reason you didn't have them or you were missing one that you expected to be there, you could click that. So then within here, we have the same access to our parts list that we have from the tool space. So if I click my concrete pipes, we have 18-inch, we have all these, we have some existings, which we looked at a little bit ago. So those are all in this network right here. And any one of these, if I had those two. So then with that too, if I wanted to set something. If I wanted to set this to be my default, I don't know if we noticed that before, but I'll open this. So this is set as to default right here. As in my profile, they're all coming with the same style. So if I open this, I see all those same styles that we had in our tool space that we looked at before in our pipe label styles right here. We also have that same thing for our structure label styles here. So let's go through the pipes first of all. And I'm going to change this one just to show you. I'll set that to profile style. And then if I open this up, if I open this up, now we see that change to profile. I could change that to anything I wanted, really, that I have available. So I'm just going to set that back. Profile, I can do that. So that will take care of all of the parts in here. But we talked about how is it more versatile. So I don't know if you can see in the background here, this label style doesn't quite look right for this existing right here. So that was not put in there correctly to start with. Maybe you missed it, what have you. So I know that's an existing pipe, and I have a style in here that I want to use for that existing pipe. So I'll just change that one for all of these existing. So I have to go through these one at a time if I have these listed out like this, but they're named so we know they're existing. So I just simply come through and I hit, I don't know which ones they are, so which size they are. So I'm just going to set them all because they should all be set to my existing style anyway. So those are for the pipes. We do that for however we want to label all of these. And then we can switch to our structures and go through the same thing. So this is the important part that some people miss by doing this, is making sure all of this is set. And again, as I said, if you did do it and you noticed you had a label that wasn't quite right, you can just come in here, change it and rerun it. You don't have to delete it. You don't have to take it out, because you see that one back there already exists. And I'm missing 4 right here. Maybe they got changed, deleted. We can simply add those back very quickly. So my flared end section, that I don't believe is the right style. I want it to be this style. So I want that to be for all of them. So I have a storm flared end section in profile, how I want that to look. So now they have everything set up. I can choose what layer I want those to go on. I'm going to use the drawing settings, probably typical you would. And then the layer of the text that I want to go on there. So C storm text. That's what gives these their different colors. Part from your label style and part from here. And then if I wanted to offset them even further from these styles have been set to grab the vertice and go up and over, and these for the sanitary, this is driven by the style to come down and over to get those locations. But if I wanted to move those a little bit, I could, just like we can with any of our other label tool or label anchor objects. So some of the same settings are here. The only different really here is this one, and then we can't add anything to it. So all I got to do then is hit my add. So it's going to add these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to update 86 other ones that are in there. So I'm going to hit my yes button. That seems like a lot, 86, but they can add up quickly. So now you see that this changed to this existing style. So if I come in here and I look at my label style, I see it's now my existing profile style, which before it was this one here. So it was just that general profile one. So we changed that. We added these in there. And if you move these, they're not going to be affected. So you see this one moved. I thought I changed that style to not be bounded. But this has the bounding, so it didn't move from where I had it before. Actually, I did want that bounded to show you the difference. And then this one is, I don't know what it's hanging on to, but I can just erase it out of there if I didn't want it. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much how it works. It's pretty short webinar today. I don't think I have really anything else to show you other than to say if I moved one of these, for instance, if I wanted to change it to there, and then I reran it for whatever reason, if I deleted these, I'll just show you that they don't move. So Label Genie, again, come in here. If something changed about these and they didn't update dynamically, you just rerun it. So now it's going to add 3. So it's going to add that one I deleted over there. It's going to update 87. And you see that did not move. So that's all I had to show you today. Overview, introduction to Label Genie and how it works for pipes. So with that, in conclusion, it's part of the SIM suite of tools. We also have our manager suite. And if you aren't on 25.2 yet, you can simply hit the About box. Let me go back to show you where you can get that from, where you see that. So if I open Label Genie, and I come into the About right here, I see that I'm on 25.2 right there. If I'm not on 25.2 and you have the ability to get it, you can just hit download latest and you can access it. Now keep in mind that from 25.0 and newer, it won't work in Civil 3D version 2020 or earlier. So no 2020, no 19, no 18. So if you're still on those, don't do that. Otherwise, our tools won't work for you. So as I said, as part of our project suite, we also have the manager suite. And if you don't have it and you would like to get it, contact your local reseller. If they don't offer it, you can contact us here at ctcsoftware.com. And as always, if you have any ideas or need any help, contact our support right here. You can also do that from in the tool. You can contact support. So with that, oops, hit the wrong button. So with that, thank you for joining us today and hope to see you at the next webinar.